It is well known fact that the Dallas Cowboys are America's team. Everybody knows it. Jerry Jones says it every year. The media repeats it every year. ESPN puts them in prime time every year. So what happens when America's team hasn't won a playoff game since 2023? Just went 7-9-1 and is now sitting at an 8-5 win total going into 2026. Let's talk about it. So, what's up, y'all? Welcome to the bonus room. I am your host, Mike B. And today, man, we are starting a bonus room exclusive series where I will be breaking down and analyzing each NFL team heading into the 2026 season, starting with the NFC East and the Dallas Cowboys. So, let's start here. Back to back losing seasons. Now, before I get into the real problem, y'all got to understand where this franchise actually is right now. Not where Jerry Jones says they are, where they actually are. The Dallas Cowboys just finished this season 7-9-1. That's back to back losing seasons for the first time that's happened since 2002. I want y'all to let that sink in. And their defense, man, their defense gave up 511 points last season. 511. That is a franchise record, not a good one. And here's what gets me. When you look at the top three worst defensive seasons in Cowboys history, all three have happened since 2020. That is not a one-year fluke, y'all. That is a pattern. And now they bring in their fourth defensive coordinator in 4 seasons. Their fourth one, man. So how do you build a defense when you keep changing the whole system every year? Comment. Let me know if that makes sense to y'all because it doesn't make sense to me. Also, let me throw this in there. The defensive coordinator that they just got, Christian Parker, he is from the defensive coordinating system from the Philadelphia Eagles. Just a bonus aside. But that's not even the real problem. The real problem is it's got a number, and that number is 8.5. But I want y'all to stay with me. First off, let's talk about Dak Prescott because this is where it gets real. Dak is back. He's healthy, and look, I respect Dak as a quarterback. He's proven he can put up numbers. But here's what I need y'all to think about logically. Dak is now reportedly pushing for more control over the Cowboys' offense, more input on the game plan, more say in what they run. Now, I'm not gonna say that's wrong, but when have you ever seen a quarterback in back-to-back losing seasons get more control and things get better? When has that happened? Also, man, you have to take a look at patterns. Eerily, since 2020, Dak has had great odd number years passing and throwing the ball, but it's the even numbers where Dak always gets injured and have those down years. The Cowboys' entire season lives and dies with that man being on this field. That is a lot of pressure riding on one quarterback who hasn't taken his team to the playoffs since 2023. Been there, done that with quarterbacks who get all the resources and all the credit, and somehow this team just keeps going backwards. But I understand it. I understand where Dak is coming from. I want to see how that plays out with him and Schottenheimer because I feel like with Dak, if he's at his MVP best, that 8.5 is possible. But playing how they played last year with that defense, I got some questions about it. So look, now let's move on. Another big piece. Let's talk about George Pickens because he's genuinely this puzzles me. George Pickens last year had 93 catches, 1,429 yards, 9 touchdowns. That's a dub one, y'all. That's a wide receiver one. He's a legitimate weapon. He's one of the best receivers in the entire NFC last season, and he was a free agent this offseason. I'm not going to sit here and tell y'all what exactly happened in those negotiations. He signed his franchise tag. You know, the Cowboys be secret about this stuff. But if that man walks or if his deal isn't locked in long term, you telling me Dak Prescott, who already needs more support, just lost arguably his best weapon, looking last year's CD. You can't be emotionally attached to a team logo when you're looking at this stuff, y'all. You got to look at this roster logically. And logically, losing Pickens will be a huge problem, a big problem for the Cowboys. I believe he makes CD Lamb better. I believe he makes Dak better. I believe it opens holes for Javonte Williams. I believe all that to be true, and it kind of plays in hand. This team had a top five offense last year, y'all. Top five. Top three, excuse me. They had a top three offense last year and finished 7-9-1. So, all right, we've talked about the defense. We've talked about Dak. We've even talked about George Pickens. But here's the part where I really need y'all to pay attention because the NFC East is not the same division that it was 2 years ago. Hell, it's not even the same division that it was last year. Let me paint this picture for y'all real quick. Philly, my team, still the powerhouse. I feel like they still the best team in the division. That defense ain't going nowhere. We've been a class of the NFCs for 2 straight seasons. Now you got to come to Philly to take that division. I don't know if they got it. That's not changing. Washington, Jaden Daniels, he's for real. If he stay healthy, he showed everybody he ain't going nowhere. Washington is no longer a guaranteed win, although they do need wide receiver help. The Giants with Jackson Dart came in, looked much better, beat the Cowboys week 18, 34-17 in Dallas, ended their season. The Giants are building. Plus, they have Scatterbo and Neighbors coming back with newly acquired Isaiah Likely and John Harbaugh at the helm now. You got to look out for the Giants. Now, for those of y'all who know Warren Sharp, one of the best analytical minds in football betting, ran the numbers on the 2026 schedule. He projects the Cowboys have the fourth most difficult schedule in the NFL. Fourth most. So you're telling me a team coming off back-to-back losing seasons with a defense that just gave up a franchise record 511 points, fourth hardest schedule, is going to win 9 games this season because that's what the over is in 8.5. I don't see it. The number built on the Cowboys brand is not built on their roster. I'm not paying for the brand. I'm paying for the roster. I'm paying for realistic results. So let's talk about what this actually means if you're looking at this from a betting perspective, if you do NFL futures, because that's why y'all really here anyway. You want to win some money. The Cowboys are sitting at 8.5 wins. The under is juiced at minus 140, meaning the books are already telling you they don't believe Dallas gets there either. When the money line is that heavy on the under, the books are not hiding it. They know where the public money is coming from. Cowboy fans are going to bet that over every single year because that's what Cowboy fans do. And the books just sitting there like, yeah, go ahead. Y'all do this dumb shit every year. You Cowboy fans. Check the schedule, check the vision, check the games. It all points in the same direction. Fourth hardest schedule, franchise record points on defense, fourth defensive coordinator in 4 years. Dak's getting older. It's questions if Pickens is coming back. I think I'm gonna take the under on the 8.5. I'm not really gonna lose no sleep over it. I hate them anyway. I wouldn't do this if your life depended on it. But if you ask me where the logical money is coming in at, I'm not taking the Cowboys over. I just don't see it. This team has a lot of questions. I feel like they did get better in the draft. I will grant them that. I feel like this defense could get better. I feel like it has gotten better. But let's bring this home, man. So the Cowboys, just a quick review. They got 3 real problems going into 2026. Problem 1 is their defense. Historically bad for 3 straight seasons, and they just hired their 4th defensive coordinator. You don't fix that overnight. You don't fix that in one off season. Problem 2, the NFC East is the most competitive it's been in years. Philly is still the standard. Washington is dangerous with wide receiver help if they get it, and the Giants closed out Dallas season, and all their good players are getting healthy. Problem 3, the brand is writing checks the roster can't cash. 8.5 wins sound reasonable for Dallas, but America's team just went 7-9-1 last year, as y'all call it. The gap between the hype and the reality is the real problem. Now, could I be wrong? Yes. Dak could have another career year. This defense could improve, as I just said, and Christian Parker could absolutely look like a genius. Maybe this is the year Jerry finally figures it out after 30 years of getting it wrong. But I'm betting the numbers. I'm going on consistency, and the numbers say the Cowboys' problems are better than the answers that they have for them. If you agree, if you disagree, comment and tell me where you think I'm right or wrong. Are you riding with Dallas in 2026? I know a lot of Cowboy fans are. Y'all delusional. It's always how about them Cowboys. I'm not a. What I will say is it's a lot of fantasy potential on this team that we will get into. I do like Dallas from a fantasy standpoint. A lot of times we underrate Dak. We talk down on Dak. If you play fantasy, Dak can be your quarterback one. Legit. CD is a top 5 receiver. Pickens shows he can be a top 5, top 10 receiver. Javonte Williams had a hell of a season last year. So it's just something to keep in mind when you talk about this team. If their defense does even slightly improve, I don't think it can be top 10, top 5 defense. So their offense is going to have to score. That's what they're going to have to do. They're going to have to score a lot of points. So you let me know where you stand. Do you think they can get the 9 wins? I genuinely want to hear, because as I always say, this is not my show, this is y'all's. And if y'all want a quick version of this, I am going to download some shorts. I am going to drop them later on today. I put about 2 or 3 of them out, and I will let y'all know when I do. I'll put that post up. Uh, but let me know, man, what kind of Cowboys bets are y'all making as far as NFL futures, as far as wins and losses go? I want you to go check out their schedule, see how tough their schedule is, especially that the last half of the season for Dallas is pretty much murderer's row. I think they're pretty much all playoff teams except for maybe 2. So go check that out after this. Man, listen, as always, I tell y'all this every time. I appreciate y'all so much. As always, man, if I always tell you this is y'all show, y'all have made this great for me. I always put the like and subscribe up at the bottom. Y'all have been liking and sharing my show, and I really do appreciate it, man. It's all coming along for me. My last show was my most viewed show. My vote most viewed show. My most viewed show. Excuse me, can't get my words out. So I do appreciate y'all on that. And man, it's the bonus room, man. I told y'all it was gonna be dope. I told you what we was gonna do, and shit, damn it, we doing it. This is our stuff. This is what we do. We talk sports, man, and I just want y'all to know that I appreciate y'all. I love y'all. Every single sub genuinely helps the show. And as always, man, I Mike B, formerly 615 Parlay Slayer. I will see y'all next week where I break down another team from the NFC East. Until I get through every team in the NFL, man, I'll see y'all next time.